Okay. See if we got today's Chelsea's birthday. Okay. All right. All right. Let's see if I can get a few in here this Sunday morning. I'm coming from my office upstairs, and hopefully everybody will enjoy this one. I like using this facility on Sunday mornings now. If the signal's good and the picture's good, I like using this because it sure is a lot more convenient, and it sure is cozy. Way cozier than the shop sometimes. Although I like working out of the shop too. But this is really a real convenient location for me. And I hope the audio is good. I'm just a little bit on that. And hopefully some of the guys will get in here and we'll get started, and we'll get the chat working good. Hadn't seen anybody start chatting. I'm seeing people online, but no chatters yet. I'm trying to see who's going to say something first. See if it's Greg or Joey or it's James. Oh, okay, James is first this morning. Okay. All right, good. How are you, James? Yeah, I'm trying to get stirred up and going this morning. I'm trying to do the best I can with things. I'm gonna see if I can do a pop out on this. Let's do a pop out chat. I can enlarge this a little bit better when I do that. Yeah, I can do that, and I'll move. I like having my dual screens and everything. I can pull the chat out a little bit larger, and with my vision the way it is right now, it works out. It works better for me to be able to pull it out, and I can read it a little bit better. I can enlarge the text a little bit more, and that sort of stuff works good when I do that. Well, how are you this morning, James? Say you're doing pretty good. Yeah, I'm gonna have to have my nose itching. It. The old saying is, if your nose is itching, somebody's coming. At least that's what Grandma used to say. I don't know how true that was, but that's what Grandma used to say all the time. Well, how's the video and the audio coming from this? I'm always curious when I start changing locations. Is audio and the video good? Like I said, I'm working off my house. I'm using really my hotspot down here because I got UVerse, which sucks. Okay, you got your fresh coffee and your wood heaters cooking pretty good, is it? Yeah. Hey, Jamie, how are you? Yeah. I try to just stay nice and comfortable and everything. Hey, Walter. Well, that's great. I'm glad you're doing good, Walter. Hope everything goes good with you. That's the name of the game, is to get out here and enjoy ourselves. Is the signal? Give me a thumbs up, guys, if you can. If the signal's good and the audio's good, I like to make sure that I'm putting out a good product and everything, and the lighting and everything else. I hope. Let me change one thing here that might help just a smidge. I don't know if it does or not. I try to have the best lighting and well, that's great. That's great. Hey, Aaron, how are you? Yeah, I'm trying to always, put out the best, including audio. Good. Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I've got like I said, this new setup up here Well, what in the heck was
I
that?
can't connect to your Wi-Fi network.
Oh,
You can find setup instructions in the Help section of your Alexa app.
I'm sorry. Alexa interrupted me.
I can't connect to your Wi-Fi network. You can find setup instructions in the Help section of your Alexa app.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. I got too many devices up here. That one is not connected up. I changed Wi-Fi's, and I've not connected that particular box from Amazon back up. And I've got some of those in the Google boxes and everything else. So I can get interrupted by technology there. I got one from the other big company that starts with a G in the other room, and it activated the other day like that too. They're neat to have. I mean, I usually use them to, ask about the weather and stuff like that, and just simple things. They're pretty neat, inexpensive. Of course, a lot of people are paranoid about them because they're worried about what they listen to and what they actually hear. And I'm not so much worried about that because I'm really not saying anything. I guess if you're a privacy fanatic, then you could be worried about it now. Or if you're doing something nefarious that you may feel like somebody can go back and get some information off of you, I guess that's possible. Uh, I think a lot of that's more far fetched because we're a little. Most people are sort of the mundane and don't have the. I guess people aren't going to be interested in what I'm doing. That's basically what it amounts to. Not anybody in the government or anything else like that. I'm not doing anything with guns. I'm not doing anything with anything controversial. So I don't think that any signal that I would transmit, whether it be voluntary or just accidental or whatever, is going to really be any significant at all. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I'm boring, I guess I'd say. And then when you're boring to the government, they're not going to be interested in you. I don't think. But who's to say? I mean, who would have thought that years ago that you could actually talk, say something audible and get a response from a computer, that's listening to your commands and everything. So those things are it's pretty neat. I mean, like I said, we've got a couple of those in the house by the big G and the big A. I'm saying that because if you say their names or their or if they think you're saying their name, they'll activate, and that's what you heard a minute ago. But that's the wave of the future. We're going to have more and more of that within technology, and I guess it's good to learn and adapt to it as opposed to just being oblivious to what's going on. I mean, it's good, I think, to kind of embrace it and control it. If you control it, I think you're okay. Now, if you want to be a complete hermit and not have anything, I mean, that's a choice too. Some people feel like they want to do that. They feel like that's where they want to be. That's what they're going to do. They're going to be completely off grid. And they want to be completely away from everything. Myself, I'm not that paranoid. I like interaction, like we're doing today. Being able to chat with people, getting opinions all over the United States and the world. That's what I like. And excuse me, guys, I kind of got choked. That's real life. That's reality there. Reality. I'm getting choked. And excuse me again. My voice is, I had to, that's, I'm going to pause a second. It's hard to continue talking when you kind of choked, and I, like I said, this is reality. Take two. Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, I gotta take two there. Because yeah, it's tough. It's tough when you get, and you can hear it in my voice. I can't hardly talk right now. I had something to go down the wrong way there. I guess I was taking a swallow or something, and it kind of went down the wrong way when I swallowed. Let me take a breath here. Yeah. I'm gonna have to. I'm drinking a soft drink, but I'm not real keen on that because I'd rather probably have water. To clear my throat out a little bit here. It's coming back. It's coming back. It's like a bad video signal, I guess. It's coming back now. I was about to forget what my train of thought was, but I think I was talking about technology and everything, and I got choked up on that. But you know, I'm not one that's really paranoid about technology, because I think if we use it and use it in a proper manner, I think we're in good shape. I just you know, excuse me again, guys. It is what it is. But I'm an old man. I guess choked up here a little bit, guys. It's easy to do when you're trying, and everything's live here. I mean, I can't stop the cameras and say, give me 5 minutes, I'll clear this up and everything else. So it's live. You get what you get here. And I'm a real man in a real life situation here. And when I get really choked, I'm really choked. Now, is my signal still good? Hey, Anthony, how are you? I can't tell as much on this computer. It's sometimes, I don't know if it's as good as I want it, but I mean, it's probably good enough, I suppose. I'm I'm hoping it is anyway. Like I said, I've got this new setup with the new camera, microphone, everything up here in my upstairs office. And I'm trying to produce some videos up here too, which some of y'all have seen, and I hope you like them and everything, because it gives me an opportunity to convey some information without having to be encumbered with a lot of different things. Still good there. Okay, well, great. That's what I want to make sure. I didn't want my signal being choked down like I got choked down. Yeah. Well, yeah. And if everybody can give me some thumbs up on my videos too, they say that engagement, the thumbs up on the video helps my the thing with YouTube to help my videos. So it helps my videos get out and more people can. Yeah. So there we go. There we get a few more thumbs up. If I can get some of those, if you don't mind, I do appreciate it. And that way my viewership gets up there where it's supposed to be. Because that's what I'm trying to do, is get my viewership. And I get a lot of engagement on my live streams and everything, but I want to get my viewership on my regular videos up. And the more that I can do that, the better off that their analytics. I've been trying to study everything with YouTube, and some of those things are what what's important to them is their analytics. And so if you do these little things with YouTube, it helps the overall program and everything. So I do appreciate it when people give me a thumbs up and on the YouTube part down there. And that engagement helps me a lot. And or give me a thumbs down. Either way, it actually, the engagement part is good or bad. It's and of course it always intrigues me and other people too. Yeah, smash that like button. But it always intrigues me that everybody out there gets them like I got them. Hey, Ralph, how are you? We'll get people that will give you a thumbs down. And you keep thinking, if you jump in here every time you give me a thumbs down, why are you even jumping in? I mean, if I'm bad, I don't care. I mean, it's not going to hurt me personality wise, I guess you might say. I mean, I look at it and I go, well, that's confusing. But everybody out there gets that same response too. I mean, I see guys with great big pages that are really, really popular, and they'll get a bunch of thumbs up, and then they'll get a decent amount of thumbs down. And I often wonder about that. I said, well, why do you get on somebody's live site and give them a thumbs down when you don't have to be on there at all? But that's the way of the world nowadays. People are really fickle on stuff. Hey, Ag Tech, how are you? How is it in Canada? How is Saskatchewan this morning, Ag Tech? Is it chilly? It was chilly here this morning. It was 29 degrees when I got up about 7 o'clock. I think it was 28, 29 degrees. And and that's Fahrenheit though. AgTech will give me Celsius, and I had to get in on the calculator and figured out with a calculator what it was. But that's the way it goes nowadays. 0 Celsius this morning. Okay, 0 Celsius is 0 Celsius. What is that? As far as that's zero Fahrenheit too, isn't it? At that point, isn't 0? I don't know. I'd have to ask Google or something. But yeah, nice morning for you. It's a beautiful day out here in Cherryville this morning. I mean, it's sunny as it can be, and everything is coming around. I can feel spring coming on a little bit. I'd love to see the 75-degree temperature days come in. And when we get those 70, 75-degree days, I love those days. And spring gets here and we can start getting out and just working in the yard and working outside and those sort of things. I'm going to try to get a good many videos up of my helping my wife in the yard and everything else. Anything from mowing grass, pulling weeds, getting the track hoe out and doing some mulch. We got a bunch of mulch. I've got a ton of mulch that I got from the city. I made the mistake, I guess, or I didn't think I was going to get as much as I got. I told the city last year, I said, just drop off your wood chips that are on the western side of the town over here on my parking lot at the Napa store. And I said, we got this one area. I said, we can put some chips out there. I had another guy that was putting some chips, and I was going to use them and turn them and, use them in my wife's garden. Well, I have got probably an acre of wood chips right now. I mean, they were putting 2 or 3, chipper trucks full of chips over at my place every day, it seemed like. And I mean, I had to stop. I had to call the city and I said, that's enough. I got enough chips. And so I had to get it over there and show everybody what I got in wood chips, because I've had people in town go, what are you doing with all those wood chips? And I said, well, it's drawing attention to my Napa store anyway. That's all I could say. And the people are going, what is he going to be doing with that? What is he? And actually, I'm probably going to give some of them away, but I'm going to get over there and turn them. And I've turned them all along. I have some down here at the house that my guy that has a wood cutting business he drops his chip, or he was doing it here at the house, and I got too many here. So I told him, I said, well, just take them over to the Napa store. Yeah. What you got in your backyard, James? Oh, you had some wood dropped off there. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's, with the price of wood going up, I don't know how much free wood, and a lot of people have gotten free wood over the years. People are going to start hoarding this. It looks like a sawmill. Well, that's what I was getting ready to say. I went through Lowe's the other day, and they're crappy little 2x4s. I mean, the ones that were culls, they were getting $6.85 for them. I heard some people, I watched Mike Morgan's show on Outdoors with the Morgans. I watched his, and he was talking about, he went through Lowe's last night, and they were $9 a board, 2x4s. And I mean, that's hard to believe. $9 for a 2x4. I mean, at those kind of prices, everybody's going to want to get their own sawmill and try to, cut down on that if you're doing any kind of construction. Because I was telling my wife, I said, I got a few things to do up at the building, and we actually are going to do them. And what I've got, I had some square tubing, some of the square tubings you see a lot of buildings made out of. I had bought a bundle of that at the scrap metal place. They had a bunch of 2x3s, not 2x4s, but 2x3s in the square tubing. And CDX plywood's $49 a sheet. Good gracious! Now that's crazy. I mean, the cost of stuff is going to go out the roof, literally. But anyway, I had those 2x3 poles that are 22 foot long. So I had I got the skid steer and everything. Me and Larry and Jim were talking about them, and I'm just going to use those to do my little petition I'm going to do at the shop, as opposed to 2x4s, because I already own that, and it won't take me but about 10 of them, and I can have a lot of what I need and just have them, 2 foot apart and everything, because they're metal and straight, and they're straight as they can be, and they're always going to be straight because, they're it's galvanized metal, and so and it won't rot, won't do anything. So I'm going to do that. A sheet of high finish plywood is $90 in Canada. Wow, golly, that's just ridiculous. I mean, people are going to. I mean, I don't know how you're going to be able to afford a house. I mean, that's those items like that are going to run the cost of a house up, 30-40% just in the cost, or if not more, probably 50%, and just the inflation. Because, I mean, that's double or almost triple what 2x4s used to be. I mean, I remember going through Lowe's and picking up some of those inexpensive 2x4s for 99 cents. And or $1.49 or something like that. But for them to be almost $9 a piece is just ridiculous. And inflation is kicking in, I'm afraid. We're going to see inflation on a lot of. I mean, it spirals like that too. Yeah, I mean, people will quit building, I'm afraid, and then it will come back down, I think, because I'm really surprised with the cost of everything else that it has inflated that much. But we're going to have to see what the world market does with a lot of things. Anytime that we start printing money, which we're doing right now, I mean, we got a government that's printing money, and lots of it, in the trillions of dollars. Lots of businesses are going to go out, I'm afraid, and we're going to see inflation, and then we're going to see a recession if these things continue on with these kind of situations, because I really don't see how it's sustainable. But we'll see. I'm glad I'm retired in that respect. Yeah, price of steel has gone up. I mean, I got a little bit extra money for some scrap metal that I had recently. I sent some scrap metal out, and I was pleased with what I got on my scrap metal. So, of course, they say the scrap metal prices are still down. They're still no, it's not sustainable. It's not sustainable. And what we'll see a recession that will kill some of this. I mean, and that's what has to happen in some respects. I mean, when things get inflated too much, I mean, you're going to see a recessional uh, part of the economy because you know we're pumping too much junk money into it right now. I mean, and that's what we've got. I mean, everybody talking about these checks, these stimulus checks. These it's not a stimulus. It's I would rather. I mean, I know people need money to be sustainable. Uh, yeah, I'm saving scrap. I save everything. Uh, yeah, I save my scrap. I save a lot of people saw my program I had the other day about my used oil furnace, and I save my used oil and burn it. And I try to use the technology that I can get to be sustainable and helpful for myself because we are definitely going to be in some new times. We're going to be in some untested waters, you might say, in the next few years because uh, the administration, whether you like them or you don't like them, they're definitely doing some things that are not favorable to the common man. I mean, we're going to a socialist society, kicking and screaming, and we don't have enough government right now on the other side to help us out. Well, I think they're going to have a come to Jesus meeting soon too, Jamie. It's terrible. I think the average person that is out there, blue collar worker, is disgusted with what's going on. Now, there's a lot of people that feel like you know they like this new president. So be it. Uh, I am very disappointed with the direction. I mean, they're talking about the one thing, and I even said something on Facebook this morning on one of the local TV stations had an article about the states opening up and they do away with the mask mandates and everything. Yeah, I think he is too, Walter. Um, like I've told people, it's Obama 2.0 right now. It's what we're going through. And the fear of everything with these people coming across the border that are untested, or the ones that are tested that are positive, being released back into the United States is just bizarre. How can you take someone that is tested positive for a disease you're trying to control and send them out into our public? I mean, you're just it is that is so bizarre. It's pathetic. I mean, how are they not quarantined? How are they not retained until they're better or something? But to take people that are definitely infected, I mean, they are testing positive, the ones that they can test, and then send them out. Catch and release is what they're calling it. Catch and release. You catch them at the border, and then you check some of them. They're testing positive, and what do? You just let them go out to the United States and say, "Come on back in 30 days." Well, they'll never come back. They'll never come back. It's already proven. It's a proven fact. As soon as they release them, they filter through the United States, and they'll be in every state in the union. Oh yeah, yeah. We got a puppet. We got a puppet for the president right now. I mean, he's not faced the press at all yet because he's scared to right now. He hadn't had a press conference, and it's been for what 45 days since he took office. Yep, he's a globalist. He's a globalist for sure. Instead of yeah, well, these stimulus checks like I said, for a few people, they are good. For a lot of people, they're not. A lot of people, it's a waste of money to give a stimulus check. Now, everybody will take them. If you get one, if I get one, I'll spend it. I'll use it. But I'm not gonna be dependent on that, and I'm not gonna worry about that. Oh, I tell you, they had the guy from West Virginia was holding out the other day, and I thought he was going to, but he got his arm twisted too much by Schumer, and he gave in. So that's our last hope. When we lost the Georgia Senate elections, the nation was screwed as far as having a balance of power. Right now, we got the president, the Senate, and the Congress are all controlled by one party, which is terrible. I don't know. They may be. I mean, it's income, so I would imagine they are. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The Democrats, they stick together, and they're going to vote as a one unit. Yeah, yeah. They stacked the deck in Georgia, and the Republicans just down there just don't see it. And I mean, when you got those Democrats they're out there canvassing and registering and taking ballots and everything through the mail, they had it stacked and won before the election even started. Yeah, I hope they have a backbone. I hope. I mean, you look at places like, yeah. Hey Yoda, how are you? Yeah. Well, yeah. Yeah, ballot harvesting is terrible, and there's way more of that than people realize. And they've got a machine. That's the problem right now. The other side has a machine building to harvest those votes, and that's what they're going to do. And they're going to change the laws so it's their favor from now on. And we're going to be in some sad years in the future, I'm afraid, especially if we don't change the dynamics of the Congress. I mean, we've got to be able to, as a public, get out there and change some of these ultra liberals and make it a little more conservative. I mean, I think most, well, I'm a little too old. Yeah. I have my opinion though, Ralph. I do, and I'm very, I want America to do good. I mean, I want the U.S. to do good. I wanted Biden to do good with it, but they're not going to. Yeah, well, I tell you, we're going to have to. The fact that they're cutting our freedoms down, and I got so sick and tired of even the local news media. They put up a PSA yesterday talking about the fact checking. They were doing, it was a fact checker, and they were doing a little PSA about. It showed a person said Trump 2020, Biden 2021, and it was two gas tickets, and they were talking about. They said, well, we realize gas has gone up, but it has nothing to do with Joe Biden. Well, it has everything to do with that. And people that think that it's anything different are crazy. I mean, when he starts changing policies immediately, when he on the first day of it in office, when he starts shutting down the pipeline, when he starts changing these other things, joining back with the oh gosh, what's the organization I'm trying to think of? The global environment type thing. Anyway, when he joins that stuff, Paris Accord, that's what I was trying to think of. When he jumps immediately and starts getting back involved and tying things in, Paris Accord, yeah. Uh, you know, that those are signs right quick that, hey, these policies are changing. So people that are in the in fuel industry, well, they're going to change their policies immediately. They're going to go, hey, whoa, we better stop, turn off the switch, don't do this, don't do that. Um, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that is going to have a ripple effect. It had a very strong ripple effect, and some people say, oh, that has nothing to do with it. Yeah, yeah. Fuel stocks. Uh, when Trump got out, it was at like $42 a gallon. It's up to $75 a gallon now. Well, I mean, not a gallon, a barrel. Uh, $42 a barrel, and now it's up to $75 a barrel. I mean, who's the rocket scientist there? I mean, yeah, I would have put my money in the energy stocks like that too, because you could double it and then cash in and cash out, and you can double your money right quick. But I don't know. We're all going to have to really, really, really work hard, and we're going to have to really, yeah, 32, and it's 32 when you bought in, and now it's 6. Well, I heard it was 74 or something. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not actually watching the stock so tight, but I know it's jumped tremendously. But I mean, I'm just going by some of the reports I was hearing online. But like I said, those were not specific facts and figures, I would say. But it is crazy what we're going to have to do, and everybody is going to have to conserve their self. I mean, going forward, you're going to have to conserve, like I said, your fuel cost. You're going to, and that's a huge. Most people don't realize how much your fuel cost, your total fuel cost, are in your family budget. I mean, you're talking about your gas in your car. You're talking about your heat and air conditioning for your house, whether you got propane or whether you got electricity, because the cost of electricity is going to go up. Your choices of energy is usually about probably a third of the most household budgets. And then, once that goes up, the inflation kicks in, the cost of food goes up because the cost of fuel. Anytime you affect fuel, the inflation of everything that we've got goes up. And the American people are just not smart enough to see that, I'm afraid. So many of them are so like lemons, they're being led to the cliff, that's what they do. They do not want to think on their own. They want somebody to say, well, here's what we're supposed to do. The president says do this, put on a mask, do this, go here, don't go there, do whatever, do whatever you want to do. I mean, it is crazy. I mean, you think about fuel, it controls plastics. Like I said, this drink bottle, that's fuel. That's fuel right there. That is petroleum in this plastic. Everything you've got, this little thumb drive, that's plastic. All these components that go on the boards, they're made from petroleum products. People just do not realize the impact that fossil fuel has on the entire fabric of how we produce anything. Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right, Yoda. I mean, and once inflation starts kicking in, and it's already kicking in. I mean, I've already been told, even on my Napa store, that we've had a price increase on a couple of different things, and yeah, polyester is definitely that too. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's what James was saying, Nova. Yeah, yeah. Polyester fabric that's blended into to cotton and polyester. Um, all of that has an effect. Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. We're having some price increases on uh, auto parts inventory. So, I mean, yeah, all of that is going to affect a lot of things. And, it is what it is. It is what it is. I mean, we have to live with it on a daily basis. And it's getting tough out there. It's getting tough. And, I hope that we can uh, get some things turned around. I would like to see some people go across the aisle with the Republican and Democrat. They keep saying bipartisan. We hadn't had bipartisan in years. Uh, we've had nothing that says bipartisan, other than we've had a couple of defectors on the Republican side go to the Democratic side, which I would call them more traitors than bipartisan. But they were being shamed into doing that, and it's crazy. But yeah, hopefully we can turn some things around. Okay, price increases in the topical. I don't understand when you mean topical car. You mean typical, don't you? I hope. Yeah, yeah, and a lot of people are going to probably have to do some solar. You're going to have to do some solar, and a lot of people, like I said, wood stoves, and uh, at least we've got enough wood supply in the United States. Of course, they'll probably with these environmental people, I'm afraid one of these days they're going to say wood stoves are going to be outlawed too, because they'll say there's too much pollution off of that. And I noticed we got a bulletin from FedEx. I'm still getting bulletins from FedEx that they're going to try to be carbon neutral by 2040. They want all electric vehicles. I mean, everything, even the line haul, which to me, there is no way unless they get battery technology better than it is now. There's no way to do a line haul because, I mean, for instance, all my runs were 500-mile runs. Well, the most I've seen any of these line haul trucks is like 250 miles. And yeah, that's fine. No, I thought that's what you meant, typical. But anyway, there's no way that you're going to run a line haul operation that goes from Charlotte, North Carolina to LA and do it electrically at this point, because you would have to stop and charge every 6 hours. And right now, I mean, you run a tractor trailer truck 10 hours, without stopping probably. When you got a team operation, you'll run 10 hours without stopping, and then maybe pull in and, if you stop for a pee break, and that's about it. And then keep digging so you can make your schedule. If you have to stop and take 45 minutes to an hour to recharge your batteries, and then then you're going to have to hope and pray that is open. I mean, think about it right now. If everybody was electric and the majority of trucks were electric, then how many charging stations across the United States would you have to have? You'd have to have them all over the place. And we do not have that infrastructure right now. So I think it's sort of bizarre that they're trying to do it. That may be their projection of what they want to do, but unless the technology catches up with it, I think it's not feasible. And that may be the way. I mean, you're going to see truck stops, and they're going to have a 10-acre field of solar panels out there, so they can charge all their charging stations, so they can then in turn not have to buy as much power and then sell it for a profit. Yeah, I mean, and think about the technology of lithium batteries and how much. And here goes the other thing: lithium. They get that from the ground. They mine stuff. And what is the administration? They want to curtail some of these places from mining. They don't want lithium production in the U.S., and we got plenty of it. They want to get it imported. So there we go again. We're too afraid to use our natural resources because they want to save all these billions of acres of land. So we can't do that so we can be sustainable. And there's going to have to be a way after these lithium batteries are useless, that some way they're going to have to be disposed of and somehow recycled in some way. So I don't know. I think we're just at the tips of where we are in this battery technology, and it's something to really think about. Yeah, I mean that's the thing about it, Anthony. That at this point, they'd have to have a supercharger that would really kick up the charging way faster. They're going to have fast chargers out there to be able to do it as fast as they can do fuel. And right now they don't. Yeah. Well, they're moving it. Elon Musk is probably doing more for the infrastructure than anybody on the EVs. And, I just don't see the other people doing that. Well, hey, Blake, how are you this morning? Blake's getting married today, guys, at what, 2:00? Yeah. Yeah. Blake's getting married. Now jump in here and pound that button there for me. Give me that thumbs up, Blake. We got to give Blake a thumbs up for he's getting married. Him and Felicia are getting married, and he's got a Tesla. He's going to go drive a Tesla on his honeymoon today. Oh, me. Yeah. Well, I'm just, I wish I could in some ways, but in some ways, I don't know if I'd want to dedicate the rest of my life on that, Jamie. You're just getting ready right now, are you? Okay. Yeah. Don't get too nervous. I'll tell you what, like we were saying yesterday about you, Blake, he's overpunted his coverage there. He's got a beautiful girl he's married. Yeah. Yeah. Blake is, he's going to be a lucky young man there. I think he works hard, and his wife to be works hard with him. And that's good. Maybe you can last 50 plus years. I'm headed toward 51 years right now of being married. So, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. You got lucky. Just don't ever give her a pair of glasses and she can see you firsthand without the glasses. That's what I kid other people about, and myself too. A lot of us old ugly old men and got some good looking women. We got them fooled. So keep them fooled. That's all you have to do. Just keep them fooled. And I know you and Felicia will probably have a wonderful life. Just remember the old saying: "Happy wife, happy life." So if mama ain't happy, ain't nobody happy. Kind of remember those things, Blake. Do your best to have a lot of. Oh, your mom and dad have 60 years. Yeah, well, I'm headed on 51 this year, and I'm happy. I'm happy that I've been that way. I beat my dad didn't make it, so he was married 40 something years before he passed away. But those are the breaks. I'm glad I made it. I'm glad that Barbara and I have had a good life together, and we're still having a good life, and we're lucky. I'm happy, and that. And when you get a good woman, hang on to her, treat her right. And don't do anything foolish out there that will upset the apple cart. I mean, we're all going to do, make mistakes, but try to minimize those mistakes. And tell your wife you love her every day, because I do that. I love my wife, and I tell her that every day. And if you can do those things, I think you'll have a good marriage. And, hopefully everything will go good. Wish you a lot of luck, Blake. Wish you a lot of luck. It takes it today. It takes luck. It takes endurance, and it takes perseverance, and just work at it every single day. Don't take your marriage lightly. Everybody had to give Blake a big thumbs up too. He's a young boy that's it takes discipline. It really does, James. Blake's a young boy that's got his own business, got his dump truck business. Him and Felicia work it hard, and they, I think they're going to do well for themselves. And maybe in a couple of years we'll hear about some children and everything else. That'll come along with it too. Hopefully, I've got 2 great children. My daughter later on this year will be 50, so I've got a daughter to be 50. I've got children as old as a lot of guys out here are older. My son will be 48 in June, so everybody's getting a little bit older, and I'll be 70 in June. And I look good for 70 years old, guys. I feel good. I feel very lucky, especially after this past year of getting my health back in order. And there again, that's we're talking about wives. I would not have pulled through. Yeah, 48 years. There's my son right there. He'll be 48 years old. He'll be 48 years young in June. His birthday is June 27th. Mine's June 28th. I'll never forget when he was born. His mother said, "Oh, I should have held out one more day." I said, "Hey, that's fine. I was just tickled to death to get him here." I said, "Let him have his birthday. I'll have mine." Yeah. Well, like I said, there is my son, Steve, Brad, that's signed in just now. Steve will be 48 this year. Where Steve looks young too. He got his dad's good looks. I get tickled about that. And people to this day now, they see Steve, and Steve looks like I did 22 years ago. And people will see him out there that haven't seen me in a while and think, and he had one girl that worked at one of the pharmacies that kept calling him Mike. He said, "No, I'm Steve." Well, you know me, Steve. I'm modest. Your dad's modest. But yeah, he had one. He had one of my classmates that kept calling him Mike, and he said, "No, I'm Steve." And that girl even asked him how. He said, "How's your wife, Barbara?" And he said, "No, Barbara is my mom." He had to keep explaining to that girl, "I'm not Mike," because in her mind, that's the way I would have looked. But I hadn't seen that particular girl in a number of years. But that's the way the mind will do you sometimes. And he does. He'll have to admit, Steve will have to admit, he does look like his old man a little bit. He's more handsome than I am, though. I say he got the best of me and the best of his mother both. So he turned out to be a handsome young man, and I'm very proud of him. He's the electrical engineer that he's the educated, smart one in the family. He's an electrical engineer and licensed electrician, and I've been very proud of my son through the years. And one of the proudest days I've ever had in my life was when he graduated. Was it summa cum laude or cum laude? I can't remember which one it was at NC State, but he did. He did very good at NC State and got his degree, and then he's got what they call his seal. He's a electrical engineer with the seal, which is another great honor. I took him down to Raleigh. He and I went down there a couple of times for him to take the test when he was after he graduated from NC State and had all that stuff fresh on his mind and everything. He was able to take that and study that and pass. That's sort of like passing the bar for a lawyer, you might say. So he got his seal and was awarded that. So I'm very proud of that, and it's coming to help him. Right now, I am one proud dad. I'm very one. Both of my children have done very well in life, and I'm very proud of them. Both of them live in our community here, and that I do get humbled when I'm talking about my children. My children and my grandson. I have one grandchild. They're my pride and joy. If I've ever done anything right in my life, I've been I've tried to be a good father, and that's and that to me is a very, very important part of my life. I mean, I've tried to be a good provider, and I know the children appreciated that. But I've also tried to be a good father too, and teach them the right things, and teach them what I think's good in life, and to be a family man. And my son is very much a family man too. His son, his wife, and his son are his pride and joy too. And I'm very proud that he feels that way. I mean, that means a lot. It makes me feel good going forward. So when I'm no longer around, I feel like I've laid down the groundwork for them to carry forward and everything. So that's, those things being said, and I would imagine most of y'all, a lot of y'all have got some of the same stories and everything similar. It is. That's what it's all about, James. I mean, to carry on to better. I mean, I saw that with my dad. He did that. He always wanted us boys to do better than him. And that was what he said. And I always remember, and I still kind of almost tear up to this day. My dad and I were out after I had my trucks and I was driving and everything else. He and I both had driven at Carolina Freight, and Dad drove there 38 years. And I always admired what my dad could do with the truck and how good he was and everything. And he and I were out on a trip. I had one of my trucks. He had another one of mine. And we were doing some work when he was back at RPS. And my dad told me, he said, Mike, he said, you're a way better driver than I am. Oh, it just floored me. I mean, I teared up because my dad was, I mean, he was way up here on the pedestal as far as I was concerned. And when he told me that, I mean, that was like giving me an Oscar. And because I still don't believe it. He's the best. He was the best driver. And I saw his skills and how good he was. In my opinion, I will never get as good as him. But he paid me the compliment that said that I was better than him, and it just floored me for him to say that to me. And I mean it, yeah, and it was a special day, and I remember it like it was yesterday. And I guess that was him sort of passing the baton on, and him giving me the approval. It was an approval that I cherish. I mean, it's something simple. I mean, it was something, you have to realize when you feel like that your dad feels like that you have accomplished as much, if not more, than he did. That's a special accomplishment, and that's a special compliment. And I'll always will cherish the moment that he told me that. And and I know a lot of y'all guys have probably got issues like that too, or situations like that too. And it's fun to think about that. It's fun to think back about how that you're molded by your fathers or your mother's actions. And, and I feel like I was molded by both of my parents. My mother was the most kind hearted, sweet woman that you would ever want to meet. And, well, I hope he did. And, I lost my dad. He was only 65 when he passed away. And it makes me think I've gained 5 more years than him. Yeah, well, I hope it will, James. I hope it will. And I've often thought these past 5 years, I said, I've been given an extra year each time, more than my dad. And I thought my dad was an older man. And I'm thinking now, gosh, I'm 5 years older than Dad was when he passed. And it just, it'll give you the realization of how short time is out here. And it'll give you the realization of how valuable every single day. And that's what I'm trying to do right now. I'm trying to put value in every single day that I have, and every single day that I converse with the guys here on YouTube. I hope that what I'm doing helps in some way. I hope what I'm doing will enlighten somebody, or maybe they'll take that and they'll say, well, Mike's a pretty smart guy, or okay guy, and all that sort of stuff. I've really enjoyed conversing with all the different guys on the show. Well, I hope I can make it a lot longer too. Health-wise, my health is in pretty good shape, and my wife is very committed on making sure that my health is getting better every day. She's an angel. My wife is an angel. She watches every medicine, every pill that I have to take, every calorie that I eat, you might say. She'll fuss at me if I'm doing something right. No, you shouldn't do that, and you shouldn't do this. And I listen to her. I tried my best to listen. Yeah. Well, I mean, and that's what you got to do, Walter. I mean, my dad had a couple of close calls before he had his major heart attack, and we took him to the hospital. And he said, "Well, we're just wasting money." And I said, "Dad, I would much rather waste the money than lose you." And it's one of those things, and it's something that you would pay $1 million out to have them another day, probably. I know I would love to be able to sit down and talk with my dad one more day, and I'd give a mint away to just to be able to do that. But it's something to really think about. Yeah, yeah. She's Barbara's got. She says she's got an 50 years invested in me, and she doesn't want me leaving too soon. And I gave her a big scare, like I did my son Steve. They were both, and my daughter too. But my son Steve, I think he felt the same way I did about my dad. 30 something years ago, and it's scary. I wasn't as scared about the operations, but I can see how scary it was for them on their side, knowing that it could have gone either way. I could have not pulled out, and I could have. It could have been really bad, but thank goodness they got the blockages and they put in the 4 bypasses and everything. And the old heart's pumping good now, and I'm feeling good. That's the main thing. I'm feeling really, really good, and I feel like I'm getting my strength back, especially in the last couple of months. I've been able to do a lot more things. Weather's getting better, and I'm trying to do it in a fashion that I'm not hurting myself. My son won't let me lift stuff much, but I'm getting out, and of course the doctor said I can do pretty much anything now. So I'm gonna try to build my upper body back up and get some strength back like I'm supposed to. I mean, that's what you want to do. Let me take a drink, guys. But you know, it's tough. I hope I haven't bored y'all guys today. Well, I've gotten on a lot more personal things here, but I've enjoyed it. I hope a lot of y'all feel the same way too. And if your dad's still around, give him a hug, give him a call. I know he would appreciate it. If he's not, if you're the older dad and you can have one of your children call you and tell you he loves you, that would be great too. It means something. So Blake, I know you want to make sure and tell your mom and dad how much you love them today, especially you're getting married and everything. They're going to lose. Well, actually, they're not going to lose a son. They're going to gain a daughter, and I know that's going to be a major plus for them there. But never miss a moment to remember your mom and dad. And you know that's for everybody out there. The one good positive thing out of this that's happened to me is my son has taken out of his day a lot of time to help me and do things and to come around more. So that's a very positive thing right there. And I really appreciate that. And I've told him that I appreciate every moment that if it's nothing more than just riding in the car together to go get something, it's just small things or turn into major things for you if you can take that time and enjoy the presence of your parents, because it is going to be a fleeting thing. It's going to go quick. You're going to lose them quick. Well, that's good, Brad. That's good. You call your mom and dad and you tell them how much you love them. And you tell everybody like that, how much you appreciate them and think back about what they taught you, the good things, and how much you will regret not spending more time with them once they're gone. I mean, I regret right now. I know there's a lot of times that I could have. Yeah, well, it has. I've turned more positive toward my life than I did my business. At this point, I'm glad that I've taken it. We took the big initiative. Go ahead and let's sell the business. Take what we can get. And I did fine. I did fine. So I don't think I wasn't smart on it. I will say that I worked out. I negotiated a very smart deal that has got me set pretty good for life, and I feel like that I'm gonna. I'll be happy. I mean, could I have gotten richer? Sure. Could I have gotten more? Maybe. Do you do that, or do you negotiate for the best deal at the time? And which I did. I think I got the best deal that I possibly could have gotten. Now, there's certain people out there that I've seen some that have gotten more money than what I got, but I'm not begrudging that because I got enough money. And if I can do that, sell some of these trucks that I have left over now and clean up some of my shops and kind of revamp and redo some things that I want to do, I'm going to be happy. I think that going forward, you're going to see me. I hope you guys are not going to be bored with me, because you're going to see me more out here. I'm going to be on YouTube a good bit more, showing the different things that I'm doing and showing the, whoops, let me get my old hair messed up here. Love it. And try to get on here on a more maybe daily basis on YouTube. And if y'all are not bored with me, come on in here and enjoy the conversation and everything. And I know I will, because I enjoy having the conversation with all you guys. It enhances my life to be able to converse with all you guys and girls. There's some girls out here too, but I enjoy it. I enjoy it, and that's the way it's going to be. Well, guys, I'm gonna get off because I did get choked up a while ago, so I don't want to. I've been on here about 1 hour and 10 minutes right now. It says so. I'm gonna get off. That's about as much as I need to say at one setting, but I'm gonna get out here more. So just as I close and everything, look for. Oh, I appreciate it, Brad. I really do. But look for me out here more often because I'm going to start putting more videos. Help, share and tell other people about my channel if you can. Help me grow the channel. I hope I can get it up there where it's a decent size one day. And maybe my influence will be even better one day. Okay. Well, thank you, Anthony. And, just share and give me all the thumbs up you can. And I will see you guys around, and keep looking because I'm going to be putting a lot of stuff out here. See you guys. See you around.